नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. So I would like to begin. Do I have screen share? Do I have? Oh, I don't have screen share. Okay, can you please pull up
No,
Bhagavad
I
Gita?
have it. I have it there. You can share now.
Okay, okay. So I will pull up this on the screen, which you should be able to see in a minute. It is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, Dhyan Yoga. The chapter is called, and we are on verse number 17. Okay. Now I will go to screen share, and you should be able to see it in a minute. युक्तहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. He who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation, and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Purport: extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, which are demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam, sanctified food. Lord Krishna is offered, according to the Bhagavad Gita, vegetables, flowers, fruits, grains, milk, etc. In this way, a person in Krishna consciousness becomes automatically trained not to accept food not meant for human consumption or not in the category of goodness. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in the discharge of his duties in Krishna consciousness, and therefore, any unnecessary time spent sleeping is considered a great loss. Avyartha kalatvam. A Krishna conscious person cannot bear to pass a minute of his life without being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, his sleeping is kept to a minimum. His ideal in this respect is Srila Rupa Goswami, who was always engaged in the service of Krishna and who could not sleep more than 2 hours a day and sometimes not even that. Thakur Haridas would not even accept prasadam, nor even sleep for a moment without finishing his daily routine of chanting with his beads 300,000 names. As far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest. Thus, his work is always regulated and untainted by sense gratification. Since there's no question of sense gratification, there's no material leisure for a person in Krishna consciousness. And because he is regulated in all his work, sleep, speech, wakefulness, and other bodily activities, there is no material misery for him. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजना सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी ऋषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते चंद्रमौली स्वामिनीति नामिने नम ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. So, the first thing to understand is we have been given a very rare opportunity to make complete success of the human form of life by coming to Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness, to receive this, is a great fortune that we have spent millions of lifetimes and have not received. So we must understand this is the most valuable gift I have ever got in my life. This is my one chance to make my way permanently out of this cycle of birth and death and go back to Krishna. When we realize the significance of what we have been given, it's like being given a very, very beautiful, costly, huge diamond. How will you take care of a diamond? Will you just leave it on your doorstep or in the windowsill or here or there or anywhere? No, you will guard it with all your power, all your strength to keep it safe, right? Similarly, is Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of devotional service that has been planted by the Guru in our heart. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. ब्रह्मांड भ्रमिते कोन भाग्यवान जीव गुरु कृष्णा प्रसादे पाए भक्ति लता बीज. Brahmanda Brahmite. For millions of lifetimes, through millions of universes, the soul has been wandering up and down on this Ferris wheel of repeated birth and death. But by great good fortune, we receive the mercy of Guru, who plants the seed of devotional service in our heart, and by the watering and the weeding process, this creeper starts growing very nicely. It penetrates all the coverings of the material universe and ultimately reaches the lotus feet of Krishna in Golok Vrindavan and rests there. This is our goal. This is our aim, to reach the lotus feet of Krishna, because that is the only safe position. Bhaja Gure Mana Sri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. My dear Lord, please pick me up from this ocean of birth and death and place me as one of the atoms of dust at your lotus feet. What does the 5th verse of Shikshashtakam say? Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam vam visame bhavam buddhav kripaya tava pad pankaja stita duli sajjatam vishintaya. O son of Maharaj Nanda, I am your eternal servitor. Yet somehow or the other, I've fallen into this horrible ocean of repeated birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean and place me as one of the atoms of dust at your lotus feet. And Krishna will be happy to do that when he sees our sincerity, our determination, and our genuine devotion. So we are trying to awaken our pure love for Krishna through this process of Krishna consciousness. What is that? The 9 processes, Navavida Bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. What is the meaning of these words? Shravanam means hearing about the Supreme Lord. And who perfected that? Shukadev Goswami. Like this, each process has been perfected by a great devotee of the Lord. So, to come back again to what we are going to focus on in this particular class, once we understand the value of what we have been given, we guard it with all our strength and might. For this guarding, what needs to be done? That is why Prabhupada has given us this program, this early morning program has been given to us by Srila Prabhupada. So we give the best possible nurturing environment for that Bhakti Lata Bij. What did Prabhupada say? Everyone should rise early in the morning, perform Mangalarti, chant the holy names after offering prayers to the spiritual master, to Lord Nrsimhadev, doing Tulsi Puja in the association of devotees, with focus, with attention in the Brahma Muhurta hour. Now we are first going to talk about what has been given by Prabhupada. Okay, it may not be practical for all of us, but we are talking first about the standard that has been given, so that we know at least what is the standard. So this is the ideal, and this ideal happens in all the temples, in every Krishna conscious temple of the world. There's Mangalarti, there's Guru Ashtakam prayers sung to the spiritual master with Arti of the Lord going on. Then we chant Lord Nrsimhadev prayers. Then when the curtain closes, we offer Arti and worship to Tulsi Maharani. We circumambulate her. We offer water, 3 drops of water to her. We offer obeisances because she is a pure devotee of the Lord and she is very kind. When she is pleased, then only we can enter into Golok Vrindavan. So we do all these things and then we chant Shikshashtakam prayers. We chant how to avoid the 10 offenses to the holy name, and then we sit down to chant. So our minds have got purified, we have got well prepared to begin the most important part of our day, which is chanting the holy names. There is no wow like chanting the holy name. So once our minds, hearts are prepared, then we sit down in a proper position, posture, prayer, renunciation. 3 P's are important. Posture means the back should be straight. Our spine, we should not be slouched over. We should not be lackadaisical. We should not be, overly tired. If we are very, very tired, it will be very difficult to chant properly. So all these things, real good chanting begins by preparing the night before, as they say. What you do in the previous 22 hours impacts your 2 hours of chanting. Then, with focused attention, really focusing on the holy name, we start with the Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, with proper posture, with a mood of prayer in our heart, trying to really connect with Krishna. Krishna, please accept me. I'm trying to connect with you. I want to call out to you like a child crying out for the mother. And I want to chant your holy name so that I am in the mood of service to you and praying to you to please engage me in your devotional service. So these 3 things are important, and then we begin our chanting. The mind will wander, the mind will go here and there, but just like a child, you run after the child and pull it back from running onto the road, we pull back our mind and bring it again to the holy name. Now remember, the first 1 or 2 rounds will take some time. In fact, it's best not to rush through it. Better to go slow and wait for the mind to catch the sound of the holy name, catch that sound vibration. And as you become more and more absorbed, speed will automatically come. We don't have to force the speed to come. In between, after 45 minutes to 1 hour, sometimes, people get tired, they need a drink, they need to read something, look at some DT pictures, something, because the mind will not stay still. And that's okay. Or you might think, oh, I have to do this, then quickly just write it down so that it's off your head. And continue to focus until you finish your 16 rounds. This is the best gift you can give yourself of the day. Chanting those 16 rounds nicely will be the cure for all the problems that are going to come after that. Remember, Krishna's Maya energy is very strong. So she will come at you like this. But because you've fortified yourself with chanting, your intelligence is clear, your focus is clear, you're determined, and those things will not have so much power to affect you because you have now fortified your intelligence through the chanting of the Mahamantra. Then you carry out all the rest of the activities, whatever, maybe if you have some deities, you wake them up, you offer them something, you offer bhog to them, you have your breakfast, and then you may have to go to work or whatever your daily activities. Then the mode of passion begins from 10 o'clock. That is why Prabhupada said, try to finish all your rounds before 10 a.m. because from 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. is the mode of goodness. The atmosphere is peaceful. Everybody else, at least, is still sleeping. The day has not begun. So we can chant in peace without the activities of the day coming to disrupt our routine. Then from 10 to 6 is the mode of passion when we have to be active and do different things. 6 o'clock to again 2 o'clock in the night, 6 in the evening to 2 a.m. is the mode of ignorance, which is the time for resting and sleeping. So like this, we must follow, actually our bodies also follow what is called the circadian rhythm. For optimal health, we must eat at a certain time, we must sleep at a certain time, and we must work at a certain time. If we do this, we will have no material miseries. When the sun is high in the sky, that's the time for lunch. Okay? Breakfast should not be skipped because it is literally breaking the fast of the night. So between 8 and 9, one must have breakfast. Between 1 and 2, one must have lunch. 12:30 to 1:30 is the best actually. And then again supper at 6 before sunset, because it's best to have it before the sun sets. So like this, each of us must regulate our lives in such a way so that there's a proper routine that we can follow and we can be most effective when we are regulated. When we are not having a proper routine and everything is all over the place, we are very scattered, we are disrupted by little distractions, our energies are all splayed out. We cannot be so focused, we cannot be attentive, and Maya is ready to catch us. That's the time when Maya says, okay, this is a sitting duck, I got him or her. So one must guard against all these things by putting Krishna first. Putting Krishna first means putting Krishna first before anything else. So when we do this one thing, regulate our chanting so that Krishna comes first, we will see a qualitative difference in how our day goes. Qualitative difference. It will be very, very different compared to the other days. So this is the topmost. And of course, now we come to situations where young mothers with small children, they have to go to school, lunch boxes have to be packed, the school bus is coming. She may not be able to do all her 16 rounds first thing in the morning because she has to feed the family, and that's understood. So generally speaking, what we tell young mothers, it's all right, you wake up early. If you can chant even half your rounds or 6 rounds or 5 rounds or 4 rounds, something you can chant before the day begins, that's good. And then you can complete the rest of the rounds when your kids have gone to school or your, the morning activities are over. That time you focus on chanting. Prabhupada even went on to say when he was a grihastha, some grihasthas were saying, oh, Prabhupada, it's so difficult, so difficult. How can we do this? We have to work, we have to take care of kids, we have so many other duties. Prabhupada said, when I was householder, I chanted 4, 4, 4, 4. I would chant 4 rounds in the morning, 4 rounds before lunch, 4 rounds in the evening after coming back from work, and 4 rounds before going to bed. So that's how Prabhupada recommended to some grihasthas to chant like that. But the whole point is that hour, that time should be kept sacred without distraction so that you can have quality chanting. Remember, chanting is the key to progress. In our Krishna consciousness, 99, Prabhupada said 90% at one time, then 99%, sometimes he said 100%, depends on the quality of our progress in Krishna consciousness. Our advancement depends on the quality of our chanting. So if you really want to make progress, that's where we need to put in our efforts. Chant quality rounds without offenses. Now, why does offense in chanting happen? Because we are either inattentive, we are distracted, that's called vikshepa, audasinya, which is indifference, and jadya, which is laziness. These 3 things, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, makes our chanting inattentive, offensive, and therefore we do not reap the benefit of our spiritual practice. It's like making halwa and putting salt instead of sugar. It's not going to taste nice, is it? And then we complain, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. But we haven't taken the medicine. What is the medicine? Enechi Oshadi Maya Nasi Baro Lagi Hari Naam Mahamantra Lao Tumi Magi Jeev Jago Gaura Chandra Bole Kota Nidra Jao Maya Pisha Tira Khole. Lord Chaitanya is saying, wake up, sleeping souls. How long will you sleep on the lap of which Maya? Wake up and take this medicine called the holy name, because this will relieve you from all material entanglement, all material miseries. And it is true, because chanting the holy name puts us on the transcendental platform above the 3 modes of material nature. In fact, Srila Prabhupada said, I have written all these books, so just to get you to chant Hare Krishna and get you to reach the point where you will chant Hare Krishna 24 hours a day. Prabhupada said, 16 rounds on the beads, innumerable rounds off the beads. Prabhupada said like this. So chant Hare Krishna, focus on the quality of our chanting. That is the very first step we need to take in our Krishna consciousness. We also need to look at where our energies are going, where our time is going. We indulge in so much other nonsense after that, Days has begun, I've chanted my rounds. Okay, what's happening on the internet? Oh, let me check. This political intrigue. Oh, this earthquake. Oh, this. And we get caught in the things of this world which have no bearing or no influence on our spiritual life. Maya is ready to trap us. She knows our weaknesses very well. So we must then start looking at our daily life and see where my energies are going. How am I spending my time? Am I focused on what I really want to do, which is Krishna consciousness? Or am I focusing on mundane things which don't matter? And we will find we are doing a lot of time wasting. We are very prone to check, at least for me, what's come on WhatsApp, what's happening here, what's happening there. We get so distracted. Internet, social media, all these are big weapons of mass distraction, as His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj said. So we have to guard against these things and fortify our Krishna consciousness by adding in all the other things which are very important, which is deity worship. Srila Prabhupada said, especially for Grihasthas, deity worship is most essential. Otherwise, their falling down is positively guaranteed. Why? Because they're dealing so much with the material energy, direct contact with the material energy. So therefore, a systematic, organized, regular, punctual deity worship program will keep us clean and on track, because cleanliness and punctuality is required for deity worship. So just a simple program, you just have to offer some water or something to your deities. If you can do a little offer a flower, a fragrant flower and incense, something simple, but it must be done every day. It must be done at the same time, just to get regulated. So then offering your bhog, offering your food stuff to the deities and taking only Krishna prasadam, not taking outside food, definitely not eating what non-devotees have cooked, especially avoiding all kinds of grains that non-devotees have cooked, and simply sticking to our pure Krishna prasadam will inoculate us, will be like a vaccine which protects us from the influence of Maya and purify our hearts, mind and bodies and keep us in Krishna consciousness. This is very important because the consciousness of others goes into their cooking and their consciousness enters into our bodies in the form of grains and other food. If we have to, absolutely have to, there's no choice, then we can just take a fruit or some salad after mentally offering it to Krishna. But best to avoid outside food. If necessary, carry your own prasadam. That is the best. So that's regarding deity worship and cooking your own food and carrying your own prasadam, eating only Krishna prasadam. After that, what activities we carry on depends on what the spiritual master has given us to do. Each devotee is given different assignments. Somebody goes on book distribution, somebody paints for the deities, somebody cooks, somebody teaches, somebody speaks. Like this, we all are given different services. So how to carry out that service nicely? This should be our endeavor so that we perfect our services in Krishna consciousness and we get more and more purified by meditating on the orders of Guru, by meditating on how to make it better. What can I do better? I want to read this. Then we embark on getting that knowledge, which is important for making a good presentation. So we sharpen our skills like that. So that is this third step. That means our seva must become more and more enlivening, enthusing, and more refined as we progress in Krishna consciousness. And of course, our relationships. Because Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, unless we are pure devotees, all these four things are important: physical, mental, social, vocational, all these things are important. How am I doing in terms of my relationships? What is my work life like? How is it impacting my Krishna consciousness? All these things will have to be taken into account so that they're all supportive of my Krishna consciousness and not taking away energies from my Krishna consciousness. So I've just given you a brief overall idea. I think we can open up for questions if that's okay. And that way I will be able to give more guidance if required. Is that all right?
Sounds great. Does anybody have any questions or comments? You can
It would
ask
be
her
nice to
100
see all of
questions.
you. If if you can put on your videos, that will also be nice.
I don't know what I'm looking like right now.
That's all right. You can hide it.
But I had a comment. I think many times recreation can be one of the hardest things for devotees to manage, because when we first come into Krishna consciousness, what we used to think of as recreation doesn't quite apply the same way. So it's a matter of figuring out what your recreation is in Krishna consciousness, which can be kind of an endeavor.
It's interesting that you should say that, because what my Guru Maharaj says is sing and dance and kirtan. That's the best recreation you can have.
Mm-hmm.
In the association of devotees, a rip-roaring kirtan, like in Mayapur, you go to the temple and the spiritual energy is like blasting you up to the ceiling, practically speaking. And you get just swept away by that. The days I don't go to the kirtan, don't go to the temple, is a real bad day for me. And so I try as much as I can to go every day, because this Harinam Sankirtan is everything. When you're in the Kirtan, you're completely uplifted and you're completely transported and you're completely purified. Harinam Sankirtan gives us everything.
Yes, dancing in the kirtan is my favorite.
Yes, that's the best.
But we're all still learning instruments and things here, so.
Oh, nice. Nice. You know what Radhanath Maharaj said? Kirtan is my sense gratification. I thought that was so cute.
Thank you so much. Yeah, everything was a really good reminder of why the program is the way it is, why Prabhupada put together this wonderful system and things that we need to focus on.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments? Lana or Rafaela?
I just wanted to thank you, Sridevi, for this beautiful lecture, and to summarize, it's kind of summarizing everything that's supposed to be done. Well, for some of us, it's maybe not, some things maybe not possible, but it's good to see the perspective of what the goal is. Because when you know what the goal is, maybe in some time, it will manifest eventually, but it's good to kind of know thank you for going over the temple routine, how it's done, because I didn't know, because we don't have big temples here, right? Well, where we live. And it's good to know how is it supposed to be done, and so we know in the perspective, maybe in the future, how to organize our routine. Like in my case, I know where to organize it this way, but again, it's nice to know how it's supposed to be done.
It's interesting that you say that, because not everyone can go to the temple, or not everyone can live near a temple or even be in the temple and so on. So what Amarendra Prabhu, in one lecture, he said, you do your own morning program at home, make it short and sweet. He gives a very nice formula. He says, in half an hour, you can complete the whole Gurvashtakam, Nashingadev prayers, Tulsi prayers, and sit down and chant your rounds. He said, just make it short, quick, finish it in half an hour, and then sit down to chant your rounds in front of your Tulsi. Keep a Tulsi because Tulsi is very powerful. Haridas Thakur simply kept a Tulsi pot in front of him and he was chanting. He didn't go to any temple or anything. I mean, he didn't go because being born in a Muslim body, he didn't want to disturb others. Of course, we know he's a great devotee. But all he did was chant in his cave in front of Tulsi. So just having Tulsi Maharani is a big help in the home because she is a pure devotee of the Lord. And sitting and chanting in front of her is very powerful for our Krishna consciousness. So if you can just do a simple, small, sweet morning routine, and you may choose even to just chant Shikshashtakam prayers or the 10. You can choose any part that you like. Maybe you say, okay, I will only chant Lord Nashingadev prayer. That's also enough. You can choose something, but just doing it consistently every day, preparing your mind to chant, and then sitting and chanting the holy name, that will go a long way towards making you feel connected to Krishna. Ultimately, we are striving for connection with Krishna. And when you feel that reciprocation from Krishna in your heart, you will feel so satisfied, you will feel so energized, and you will feel so much like, this is so great, I don't want to stop doing it, because it will energize you, it will enthuse you. I know that it's pretty tough for you because you're a working girl, you're going to work, and you have a small girl to take care of. You're a single mother. So life is definitely very challenging for you, and you have, I think, different working hours every few days. Your timings also change, right? According to the days of the week, something like that, right?
Yeah, I work a lot,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
So work is taking up a lot of your time and energies. I understand that because you have to pay the bills, take care of your child, so many things. This is unfortunate reality of living in Kali Yuga. But keep praying to Krishna. Keep praying to the Lord to show you the way forward. And Krishna loves his devotees. Believe me, Krishna will make a way for you. Krishna will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. He will be my guide. Hold me closely to his side. With love and strength for each new day, he will make a way for me. So he will make a way for you.
Oh, thank you. I love this song. And Krishna definitely sent us a fairy godmother.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Fairy godmother
You're so
from a
cute.
Disney movie.
Oh, you're so cute. No, but
Oh,
Krishna
cute.
does, Krishna does. That's actually a Christian hymn. Hmm? Says God will make a way. I just Krishna'ized it for you. But it actually is God will make a way where there seems to be no way. He works in ways we cannot see. He will make a way for me. Believe me, Lana, there have been so many times in my life where I was in the pit of despair thinking, this is the end, all darkness. I cannot see any light. And Krishna made a way for me to come out of that. So have faith in the process. Krishna is your best friend and he loves you and he wants you to come back to him. So as long as you keep praying, as long as you keep doing your part, Krishna will make a way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? That was a new song. We haven't heard that.
Krishna inspired me. Huh? He said to me in my heart, I think, come on, don't disappoint Narada and Naradi and Svetlana, do something.
I was thinking about like this is probably one of the most asked questions. How do we do this and work at the same time? How are we supposed to balance these two things? And I've seen that sometimes, especially in the beginning, when people get into this practice, they're very enthusiastic and sometimes they lose that balance, right? They go really heavy and hard into it, and then it can
Yeah,
kind of,
Justine.
it's kind of like a shock. And then they withdraw because they feel they can't keep up. Or especially if you're around someone who's very saintly for a long amount of time. Like I remember when I was traveling with my guru who's been practicing 40 years, 50 years at the time, and I was in my second or third year, and it was just trying to keep up, seeing his standard, very regulated. And it was easy to do when I was with him, but then as soon as I went back to my situation, he crashed, and it was like, whoa, reality check. It's not so easy to be that regulated. But I was thinking about this verse in Bhagavad Gita, if I could share it real quick. In the purport, even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows the nature he's acquired from the three modes. What can repression accomplish? I was thinking about this balance between the two and just being, ultimately, we have to be very real and genuine with ourselves. And other people will feel that, they'll understand it. I mean, so in the purport, Prabhupada says there are many so-called spiritualists who outwardly pose as advanced in the science, but inwardly or privately are completely under particular modes of nature which they are unable to surpass. So outwardly we can have these, but inwardly, where are we? Academically, one may be very learned, but because of his long association with material nature, he's in bondage. So this is the
Right.
part where it becomes very relevant for us down here. Krishna consciousness helps one to get out of the material entanglement, even though one may be engaged in his prescribed duties, as you were explaining, in terms of material existence. So being Krishna consciousness, it gets us out of that mental entanglement, that mental entanglement. Therefore, without being fully in Krishna consciousness, one should not give up his occupational duties. No one should suddenly give up his prescribed duties and become a so-called yogi or transcendentalist artificially. It is better to be situated in one's position and to try to attain Krishna consciousness under superior training. Thus, one may be freed from the clutches of Maya. So,
Very
what?
important. Yes. We can't just suddenly say, oh, I'm going to be a yogi, I'm going to go to Himalayas, I'm going to sit over there, chant 128 rounds, or, I'm going to just forget everything else and sit under a tree. That's not possible for us. But what we can do is we can fortify our spiritual life by going and doing a japa retreat over a weekend, or going on, a special a course of study for a week in a holy place, something like that can be possible to fortify our Krishna conscious practice, to fortify our resolve to become Krishna conscious, to stay in the association of devotees. All those things are like tonics, they are like boosts to our spiritual life. So we continue in whatever, position Krishna has put us in. We may be grihastha, we may be having, like Svetlana has children, a child to take care of and all. So we don't discard those, duties which have been given to us, but we just try as and when we can to fortify our Krishna consciousness by taking maybe, a japa retreat over a weekend, or doing a festival program, something.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that. We have to be very, I guess, practical. We have to just be Krishna conscious with wherever we've been put in whatever situation. We have to think.
Right, right, right. And it all depends on the quality of our chanting. The more we focus on the quality of our chanting and move quickly out of Namaprad to Namabhas, the better off we are, because we will become steady. We will not be up and down like yo-yos, We will become steady in our practice. We will become regulated. We will become fixed up. And less the material energy will affect us. We won't get so bothered by things and so on. And it will strengthen our resolve to become Krishna conscious, because it's like throwing all the anarthas. It's like the first few stages are like climbing uphill with a backpack full of boulders. How hard is that? Those are our anarthas. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride. But as you clear yourself by pure, at least chanting as purely as possible, then what happens? That backpack becomes lighter. And now you're thinking, hey, I made it this far. The view is pretty good. I can keep going. I can go. I can do it. You feel encouraged because now you're not pulled down by the anarthas, because with the anarthas comes offenses, and we are always being knocked back by making offenses. So all those things start reducing, and then you start enjoying the view, you start enjoying the climb, you start thinking, hey, I like this Krishna consciousness, like that. So it actually helps us to focus on the quality of our chanting.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any last reflections before we close it out? Thank you for sharing with us, and thank you for, I guess, staying up a little later to speak with us.
No, actually, it actually worked out that, it's only 7:25 over here in the evening.
Okay.
So this change of time, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we'll stop here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
Are you still coming to Dallas at the end of the May or end of April? You're going
Yeah, end of April 23 to April 28th, I'll be in Dallas. And of course, you all are most welcome to come. My god sister said, please invite them to come and stay in our home, be with you. They will also enjoy being with us. We will enjoy being with them. So she's actually inviting you to come home and stay with all of us. She will be happy to host you. So think about that. Maybe you can just get away. 26th is the Festival of Joy, is the Rath Yatra. Anyway, I'm sure your Guru Maharaj will come. Last year he was there, I think.
I don't think so. I think he'll be in India this year.
Oh, okay.
He was in India. Yeah, it's hard for him to get out much, but we will try our best. It's hard for us because we have the Fiesta Parade the next weekend. So it's a very
I know,
crucial
that's
week,
big
and I have to prepare the card and do everything. But we'll see.
a lot going on too. I know that. And I really am so sorry this time it's just happening that way.
Sure,
But
sure.
next year, I'll make it better. I'll make up for it.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
everybody. Thank you, Sridevi. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.